Recording in progress.
Watercooler.
Hey, welcome to Watercooler. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us this week. Man, those guitar licks were a little extra, as the kids say.
I saw a little Nick Cage come out.
So,
It's like a little Nick Cage.
it was a little Nick
and
Cage.
I loved it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if that's a compliment. It's still.
Oh, of course.
That's
It's still
always a compliment. That's
You
always
invoke Sir
The
Nicolas
Cage.
Cage.
Well, last time you said my British accent was a little Nick Cagey, and I don't
I
know.
mean, well, what movie? You know, was it Nick Cage from Pig or National Treasure
That's a good
or
point.
Face Off or?
Just name three incredible performances.
I mean, okay, but it could have been
I'm pretty
from.
sure everyone is an incredible performance.
It could have been from that movie he did with Cher,
Moonstruck,
Moonstruck.
another Oscar-nominated film. He's amazing.
okay.
Everything. He's incredible.
I think okay. So let me choose
There
everybody who's
isn't
here.
a bad
Let's
Nick Cage performance.
let's talk a little Cage because I want to talk some Cage. So let's think of PNC as well. But let me introduce everybody who's here with me today, all the way in Austin, Texas. We got Matt Fondelier.
Hey, brother.
Actually, greet me with your best Nick Cage impression. All right, and all the way here, all the way in Austin, Texas, it's Matt Fondelier.
Hey, brother.
Yeah, the video made it so much better. And then all the way in North Hollywood, California, it's Mike Dawson.
They took my face. Oh,
So good. Classic. Did he say that line? I don't remember. But
yes, he did. When he was on
It may
when
have
he was
been
at
in
the
the trailer,
doctor's.
at
When he
least.
was at the doctor. Oh, they say here.
That's right.
They took my face. Ah.
I couldn't understand him in the theater, but when I went home and watched it with the captions, it made a lot more sense what he was saying during the operation. So okay, well that's a great one too. All right, and lastly but not leastly, all the way in Long Beach, California, like myself, it's Kalen Bean.
What's going on?
Love it.
Perfect.
Oh, no Carrie today, and don't worry, I don't think he has anything to say about Nick Cage.
He's gonna-
So he won't be missing. He won't be missing much. But
He
let's.
said he's going to be here for Patreon. Fingers crossed.
We'll probably be done with this conversation by then. But all right.
I intend to talk about Nicolas Cage for the next 49 minutes.
I think that's completely doable. The brilliance of Nicolas Cage. So, what do we know about him? He is a Coppola who decided he wanted to not be treated as some nepo baby, but to be treated on his merit, on his talent. So he changed his name.
To be fair, at the time, all of Coppola's kids were fucking failures. So he really did himself a favor.
Oh, so you think he was?
Everyone
trying to,
thinks it was, oh, he's so great, dude. He went by his own name. Yeah, because Coppola's couldn't get fucking hired in Hollywood.
I see.
Well, it was funny.
You're going to get us
Coming up-
blackballed from the industry, Dawson.
I know.
I forget which Coppola it was, but my dad did a movie for one of the Coppolas, and he said it was just a fucking piece of shit. It was horrible. Like he just hated the experience.
Exactly.
So much.
That sounds
The worst
Googleable.
director was like, he had no idea what he
no.
was doing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think he knows what he's doing, but
Well, not this director didn't.
well, so Nicolas Cage, a Coppola, changed his name to based off the comic book character Luke Cage,
Is that true? I didn't even know that.
and that's where the Cage came from.
You know that's the Punisher, right?
Did not know
Or
that.
not the Punisher.
No,
Not the
yeah.
Punisher.
Like, did he
Who's
play
the
Punisher?
skull, fire
Rider?
skull.
Oh,
Ghost
Ghost
Rider.
Rider.
There you go.
Okay, I'll give the
And then
skull
he-
to you. I'll give
And
the
then
skull
he
to you.
later played that
That's not true.
character
That
in a
can't be
movie.
true. Is that true, Caitlin?
Yes.
That's too tight. That's
I'm
too, there's
confused
too
on
pretty a
what-
bow
yeah.
on that. I'm
All
not
right.
buying it.
All right, I'm gonna look it up right now.
Look it up. While Matt's looking that up, it's almost as if he was cast as that character because of the name change. It's kind of what people are saying about Liam Neeson right now, the new Naked Gun.
Sorry, I don't think I was right.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, I just wanted everybody to hear Matt finding this out in real time. We're just gonna go quiet for a second.
I don't even know what to add here. Sorry.
Where are we now? Where are we?
Good question.
All right. Well,
Nicolas Cage,
it's who's Luke Cage?
not Ghost Rider.
Luke Cage is like a Marvel. Remember they did that kind of Marvel spin-off Netflix series where they're like Marvel heroes, but they kind of suck too. So they did like one was Jessica Jones, one was the Iron Fist, and then they did Luke Cage was one of them.
Thank you, Kalen.
That's right. Thank you, Kalen. You let
wore
Matt
a raincoat
do that?
or a
I didn't
trench
understand
coat.
what he was saying. I didn't. He was talking about the Punisher. He's talking about Ghost Rider. I'm like, I don't know.
Caleb
I
just
didn't
sat
understand
back
what
like,
he was even saying.
Let's see what
I was
Matt finds out.
confused.
Kalen, you missed this on the movie club. We each are a different kind of magician, and I am a mentalist. I will get you to believe things that may or may not be true.
Very. Oh yeah, we did do a Now You See Me movie club on Patreon. So watch Now You See Me on Netflix. Sign up for our Patreon and hear us talk about it. And we at least maybe said one good thing about it, right? Okay.
I did go down a pretty deep rabbit hole on Oz, the mentalist. You know that guy?
Yeah.
He just shows up at like.
Well, we played a clip of Oz, the mentalist.
No, they say O's. They say O's on every. I keep watching clips, and every time they introduce him as O's, and I was like, it's fucking O's.
I've called him Oz. I've met him. I know him.
The good news is
talk about fucking every time he's introduced on ESPN, and he's fucking with like Rich Eisen.
the good news is one of you is right.
Yeah, that does help. The odds of one of us being right is gonna work because it's a 2-letter name. So, man. Anyway, so Nicolas Cage, named after Luke Cage, goes on, does these incredible films. Won the Oscar for Leaving Las Vegas. This is just me off the top of the dome here. So if I get something wrong, everybody but Matt, please correct me. So he was lauded as an incredible actor. Has some ups and downs. Does some incredible action movies.
Well, hold on. His movies may be ups and downs, but the performances, I think, are pretty spot on every single time. I don't think I've ever watched Nick Cage ever and gone, he's not bringing it. I'm not feeling it.
We should take down the Statue of Liberty and put up the statue of Nicolas Cage.
I would absolutely sign that petition.
I don't get starstruck a lot, but one time Nick Cage phoned in to the Adam Carolla show, and I got goosebumps. I was like, ooh, this is crazy.
My buddy who is obsessed with Nicolas Cage, I've told the story before, his bachelor party was in New Orleans, and part of the itinerary was going to the cemetery where Nicolas Cage has prepaid for the mausoleum that he shall be stowed in. And this was the only cemetery that I've ever been to that charged an admission fee. And we said, absolutely not, fuck that. And so we walked around to the side of the building, and there's a video that I owned, I think we've played before, of Gary lifting my friend up so that he could peek over the edge of the border to see the Nicolas Cage mausoleum.
Respect.
That's commitment.
I think if I had a mausoleum like to prepaid, I would have to throw parties there while I'm alive and be like, hey guys, you want to go get drunk at my graveside tonight? Because you can do it after I'm gone, but I'd like to enjoy it with you guys once.
I like that. That's actually a pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
You know, people part at the Hollywood Cemetery all the time. So yeah, you can go into where the mausoleum where you're gonna be, Doss. But how loud can you be at a mausoleum? Matt wants to know too. By the way, what's the appropriate amount of volume you can speak?
Is it specifically indoors, the mausoleum?
Well, a mausoleum itself,
that's
it is indoors by its nature.
That's its own thing, yeah. But it echoes, it echoes, and it can be loud, and
he better have his own one too. I don't want
Iron
Nick Cage
Maiden
sharing his mausoleum with anybody else.
Yeah, who's he next to? Right? Do you think he's paying attention to that?
It better be by itself.
Well, speaking of Nick Cage's imminent death. Just because he's a human being, we can.
How dare you? How dare
Nick
you?
Cage is never gonna die. He will never die.
Well, he won't. He will never die in our hearts and.
Well, all of our deaths are impending.
Yeah.
Not necessarily imminent.
Okay. Well, they're in something, and let's now the Oscars are on, and it's the in memoriam, and they're showing Nick Cage's career. What is the final still of his little section?
Long legs.
Raising Arizona.
You think it's raising
Yeah,
Arizona?
that's probably pretty good.
Yeah.
It has to be something when he's younger, and it can't be one of the funny things. Like you
That's
can't
the
have
one he
him
wins
screaming
Oscar.
for the bees in The Wicker Man. You know,
So
you can't do that. You can't have him punching a bear again in The Wicker Man.
Or a
It's not
woman.
Wicker Man.
Or a woman
Punching
also in
women
The
in The
Wicker Man. That also, by the way, we've been talking a lot about viral videos. There is definitely like a best of Nicolas Cage Wicker Man viral video that will make anybody's day. That's for sure. But
You
yeah,
don't think
Raising
it's-
Arizona, good
You
call.
don't think it's Cameron Poe just leaning back on a plane with his hair
That's good,
just blowing
too.
through the wind?
See, that would be my
Arms crossed.
P, but I don't think that that's what they would end the in memoriam with.
Is that
Yeah.
the most
See,
watched Nicolas
look-
Cage piece of work that you've seen, Kalen?
I've probably seen The Rock more times than that,
Oh,
just
yeah.
because
You're
I'm
biased.
biased. If I'm being honest, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm,
But yeah,
I'm
that would
gonna
be
make,
that would be number. Or nope, National Treasure might actually win out over Con Air as well. That's a close one.
Really?
I have to make a serious argument for Face Off because
I'm with you, buddy.
not only did Nicolas Cage have to play Nicolas Cage, but he had to play John Travolta. And he had to coach John Travolta on how to play Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage made John Travolta an amazing actor in the movie Face Off because it was peak Nicolas Cage.
I agree with you 1000%. That is by far the most like Nicolas Cagey performance that there is. There are scenes, as Dawson was saying, of Nicolas Cage playing John Travolta playing Nicolas Cage. It's like triply inverted. It's so great.
Yeah.
and the fact that they made that whole movie just plausible, like the suspension of disbelief that they were just able to, forget the body types.
Well, what played it off? Yeah, forget the body. That's why they have suits.
We just, we're
They
going.
didn't switch the bodies. They made it clear you got to wear clothes. Except then Nicolas Cage fucking bangs Travolta's wife as Travolta. And Travolta's wife has no idea that that's not her husband's dick. I do find that hard to believe.
That I found that
Well, not. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I think about that scene a lot just because of how bizarre it is. It's like almost it's like if that movie was made this year, I think they'd admit that. Just because I think it just threw people off a little too
Yeah.
much. Or they would
Yeah. Another crazy part about the movie, which I know Gary loves to rant about, and since he's not here, I know he dearly wants to be, is the scene where they're in jail and his brother realizes that
Oh, yeah.
they've actually switched faces and he's
Insane.
talking to his brother and not the other one.
Well, his brother's wearing glasses, so he
Yeah.
he had a better look. I just love the idea. Like Gary literally does that John Travolta thing to his son's face all the
The
time.
waterfall, face
No,
waterfall.
no, Gary's just listening to this. It makes me very happy.
The only other movie I can think of that did something like that was with Kevin Costner. It was The Untouchables. And she's like, butterfly and something, daddy. Butterfly and Eskimo. That was their thing. They did Butterfly and Eskimo.
It's the eyelashes
Yeah.
and the noses. It's a great movie too.
But so, Kalen, is Nicolas Cage, and this goes out to all of you too, but I presume I'm seeing a lot of Kalen because he does watch movies based on the lead actor. If you see it's a Nick Cage joint, he's first billed. Are you automatically watching?
There's a good chance, but I'm not automatically. I haven't, like, for instance, Pig came up earlier. I've never seen Pig.
That's
Yeah,
a horror
it's
movie.
kind of,
Nope. Not
No,
a
I
horror
don't
movie.
know.
yeah,
No.
no.
No,
And
It's a
I-
culinary film.
So back when
It's
we were
like-
working at Corolla, we had intern Ryan. I just remember
I'm
intern
thinking of
Ryan
Long
came
Legs.
in
I'm
and he was
thinking
saying,
of Long Legs.
yeah, I would definitely watch that one. And he came in, he's like, "You guys have to watch this movie. It's the greatest movie.
did.
It's the greatest Nick Cage performance. It's good. It's so good, Pig." And then it came out, and everyone was like, "This movie's not very good." And we were all just making fun of him for how much he was praising Pig, but yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on the type of movie that it is. Oh, he did have another kind of horror movie recently. I forget. It starts with the letter A. Do you know what I'm talking about? But I definitely watched that one. It was on Shudder. I watched it as
Sounds
as
like
soon
it
as
was
came
awesome.
out. It was actually pretty good.
Oh.
And I'm gonna look up the name of it just because.
Not Mandy, right?
No, not Mandy.
Well,
That's a good one too.
because like, what is his career doing now?
whatever he wants.
Is he just doing whatever he wants, or is he doing whatever he can get?
I mean, I think he's out of the paycheck actor phase and is way more into the just trying to make interesting choices and do what amuses him.
Well,
That's why he did a movie called Being Nicholas. He did the John Malkovich,
Oh, that
but
was a
did
great movie.
on a real level.
What the
hell was that called?
Power move.
Oh,
That
The
Arcadian-
brilliance of
the unbearable weight of
Massive
greatness,
talent.
of massive talent.
That's
That
what
was
it
yeah.
him and Pedro Pascal. That was a great
Oh my
movie.
god, there's such a good fucking gif that came out of that or whatever, like TikTok video of the two of them when they're in the car and they're like on acid. And Chris, you'll appreciate this. It's like Nick Cage going like he's like confused and he looks over and it's like, you know, you when you've been laying in bed with your toddler for 45 minutes and you look over to look at them and it's just Pedro Pascal like wide-eyed staring him back in the face.
I do appreciate that. I love
So
a good
Arcadian
painting
is
meme.
the name of the movie that I was thinking of. It's a fun movie, but in terms of doing movies that he, you know, for money or for the art, I do know that he's a spender. He spends money. He buys like castles. He buys artwork. He spends a lot of money, and I don't think it's entirely just for the art that he does movies for. I think that he's still got bills to cover. Is what
well,
I
he had major debt for a long time, and that's why he was doing so many films, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He
Yeah.
had like a paycheck phase, but I think he's moved out of it a little bit. At
Well,
least-
shit, dude. My friend Alan Parsons is like 76 years old now, and he's still on a constant world tour because the guy likes wine.
Yeah, there you go.
And they'll drink $1,500 of wine every night. That's like they got like seriously like a $10,000 fucking, and they're buying for all their friends and the band, and you know, so he's got a fucking tour. He's got like a $10,000 a week wine nut.
Damn.
I'm so glad I'm not that into wine.
I
me
wish
too.
one day, dude. One day,
Yeah, I
I got
like
that
wine.
much money. I'm getting into wine.
I can never see you getting into wine, Dawson. I just the idea.
I've had some very good. You know, I remember the first time I bought a bottle of wine that was over $200, and you taste that wine for the first time, and you're like, "Oh,
Same.
this is different."
Yeah, like I remember one time I went to Monterey with Adam, and we stayed in like I forget who it was, but like somebody knew a guy, and he's like, "Hey, just stay in my mansion right on Pebble Beach. It's like right on one of the holes there." And like for the whole year, like okay, and we went, and it was the biggest house I've ever been in, to the point where like if you didn't know where anybody was, like oh I wonder like where like it would take you a long time to find them in this house. Like
Was it
Was it in
haunted?
the wine cellar?
movie theaters, like there was like apartments within the house, like that you could just like it was enormous. Like to go to just see every room in this house probably would have taken like 20 minutes.
You get a creepy vibe?
No, it was kind of creepy because it wasn't fully furnished, so very echoey. And we're like, oh, so who's this guy? And they're like,
Oh, he died here
He
12
is-
years ago.
he's
Some say.
he's actually in prison. So
Oh my God, really?
yeah, so
Holy
but he wanted you
shit.
to stay at his house, and like you know,
He's got the keys,
and
but
he had his guy there, and the guy like you know one of his like the guys that works with him or for him.
Henchman. They call him henchman.
He was super cool, and yeah, we had and I remember we just had such a good time there, and I think it was like you know for a white collar crime, it wasn't like anything super crazy, but the guy was in prison during the whole thing. So, but he's like free reign in my house, just take it over. And there's a wine cellar, whatever bottle you want, just go for it. And so I remember
Bottle singular.
bottles, whatever. Just
Okay.
drink whatever you can, drink whatever you want. It's all yours. So I remember me and Rob went down there, and we just looked for the dustiest, oldest bottle that we could find. Like, what is the? And we
Yeah.
found a few, and we just drank the night away, and it was incredible.
oh,
Like I remember Googling some of these bottles, and some of them like you couldn't even find, like just because like the years like went too far back or whatever. They're just so rare, like you couldn't find anybody else selling them. But
that's amazing.
yeah, and we just got to drink the nicest wine to our heart's content. And I will say it was an incredible experience, but I don't know if I'd want to do that all the time and pay
No.
for it. So I mean, I got to experience it for a little bit, but yeah, I just remember just we were going based off dust thickness.
Yeah.
These things like brushing off the labels. Like, what is this one?
You know, that's not always the best way to go. Sometimes you need to look for the bottles where a little bit of the dust has been knocked off because he shows it off all the time.
That's right. Or like
Oh,
decided,
that's
you know,
good.
maybe for a more special occasion, let's put this one back.
I got to say, when we were on our honeymoon in Italy, again, Chris, I don't know if you've been there before, but we went to like a liquor store that had a bunch of wine on it, and we had the same theory, like, let's look for the dustiest bottle. And what we didn't think about is that they don't have great air conditioning in Italy. And so the oldest bottle was the bottle that had been sitting in this liquor store in not great temperature for the longest period of time. And it was brown when we poured it out. It was so terrible. And I was like, we should never do that again.
Yeah.
But in the case of a rich person's wine cellar, I think you guys had the right idea.
We had the
Yeah. No, my family growing up, they had one of those. My nana had one of those. You've seen them, those big long wine bottles that got like a bulb at the bottom and like a macrame net around it, and it's this huge wine bottle, and it has to be stored. It's a wine bottle. If you store it, it has to be stored like that. Well, it's sitting in my nana's house on its end forever.
So when you say it's
And
stored like that, it's
finally
stored on
one
its
night,
side,
someone's like, you know what? We got to know. We got it. And it was vinegar by that time because it was wine. But, you know.
Yeah, you got to store your wine.
And I don't know if that's a saying that was just in my family, that when wine goes bad, it turns into vinegar, or if that's just their word for bad wine. But that's what they said. It was vinegar.
Yeah. Or like when it's corked, there's something about it too. I don't know. I don't even know if I'd be able to taste the flavor. But let me pose a question for Matt here, because I think I know the answer for Kaylin and Dawson. Matt, do you own a wine fridge?
Absolutely. But here's the catch. I didn't pay for it.
Chris.
I did not pay for it, which I'm sure is shocking to you guys. But I got to say, this is very serendipitous. It was given to me by Rob, previously mentioned Corolla Digital employee, who also, by the way, many years ago gave me a fucking Xbox One for $100. He's such a nice guy. That's why I went to his wedding.
That's right.
And then changed from long pants to shorts a little bit later on.
Yeah, I think Rob gave you that after that night we had wine. He's like, I'm never drinking wine again. I'm done. And then just sold you his wine fridge.
Not sold.
I'm going to have a wine fridge in about 3 months.
Really?
Putting one in my mom's house.
So I've mentioned this before, but I have wired my fridge. I soldered the wires due to a faulty design and added some extra wires and gave it some slack so the ice maker would start working, because when we got the
you just duct tape some wires on there? Add some extra wires.
Isn't that what soldering means?
No, when you just said added extra wires, I made a joke. I apologize.
No, well, it was right though, like, because the wires were it was a bad design, so they were cut and they were too tight to put them back together. So I had to actually put wires in between them and solder them together, and then use some shrink tubing for it. But regardless. So the ice maker started working when we were told it would never work again, and it was my pride and joy and I hoped I whenever anybody came over that they would comment on the infinite ice at my house. Only one person did, and it was a mean joke because Jen told him to say it. But regardless, the ice maker has now stopped working again, and I don't know what's wrong this time. And so I'm in the market for a new fridge. So I've been looking up fridges, and I am all about this one fridge that has like this middle section that you can just turn into whatever temperature you want. And it could be a wine fridge, it could be a snack fridge, it could be a little freezer pop. So it's like,
could be a crack fridge.
Could be for crack, like just this little section that just whatever temperature you want, it'll stay at that. Plus you have all the main parts. And I'm trying to convince Jen, like, this is what we need. And she's not about it at all. She's like, let's just get the regular stuff.
Can I just ask, what is it about the temperature control in the center of this temperature controlled environment that's so appealing to you?
Because it's like an extra drawer that you can just do whatever you want to your heart's desire.
Like, what would be your thing that you would do with it?
Well, because I'm wondering, it's like I can understand for wine, but I don't really understand what else would require like a specific temperature
Imagine this, Kayla.
constantly that you're, for wine, yeah, I can see that, but I can't see anything else that I don't.
What if you just got your pickles just a little bit colder?
Okay.
A little more
okay.
crisp.
Yeah,
It's
you
the
got
pickle
it.
jar.
You got me. You got
Pickle
me.
jar shelf.
It's a little bit colder.
All
Or you
right.
get your drinks just right before freezing. Just like we were doing that in Palm Springs.
Yeah.
I went to Palm
A
Springs. and
super
we were
cold
throwing-
Coke.
We were throwing C minuses into the freezer, and we called them Sub-Zeros because we would just take them out right before they'd pop. And we're just like, give me another Sub-Zero. And it was the coldest Coors Light that you could have, to where
Nice.
it was so refreshing. It was like on the border.
The mountains
of
were
turning an
blue.
ice. The mountains were freaking so blue. So what happened was, my friend John went to the Coors factory in Golden, and he drank some ice cold Coors Light, and he's like, "That's incredible! Like, it tastes so much better when it's that cold." They're like, "This is how you do it: put it in the freezer, and you just got to take it out right before it freezes. Call them Sub-Zeros." And so we were just every time we grabbed them,
That's what they told him at the
freezer.
Coors factory.
I don't know if they told him that or if we came
think
up
he's
with it.
making that
Regardless, we were calling them Sub-Zeros all weekend.
I
Highly
think Coors
recommend.
would come up with a better name than Sub-Zeros.
Now, I know Gary's not here, but I feel like I should do a little bit of a Gary talk here, Chris. When you're pitching this part of the refrigerator to your wife, don't go with the super chill Sub-Zero beers. I don't think that's going to get her on board with it.
Yeah, you're right. Well, if anybody has that portion of the fridge, hit me up.
Look,
as soon as you can.
does Jen enjoy champagne brunch?
We don't drink that
Champ
much.
brunch?
Yeah, okay.
That's
Then
not
there's no reason for you to have this, Chris.
But what about
You're wasting space that you could have. You're paying a premium and giving up space.
That's right. Okay.
I disagree. Counterpoint, this fridge sounds awesome. You sold me on the pickles. You sold me on the beer. You already got the wine. It's a show off factor. Fucking someone comes over to your house. Fucking
Come and check out my fridge, bro.
check out
It's
three.
like a-
I got
it's like a
three
man
fridges in
cave.
one. Yeah.
You know, it's the man shelf, just for you, Chris.
It's a Chris drawer.
Yeah.
Just pull it out. Yeah, it's all my favorite.
Chris
snackies.
apples. Put some of those in there.
Yeah,
No.
sure, certainly
I don't know
can.
if you put apples in the fridge.
Not swaying you.
I have
Although
been putting
Chris
apples in the
could
fridge.
probably last a lot longer in that fridge.
I prefer my
6
apples
months?
refrigerated.
Yeah, nice crisp, cold crisp Chris apple.
Mm-hmm. That sounds delicious. My mouth is watering already. Anyway,
I think that might sell Jen.
but I am in the market for a new fridge, and that is what I'm looking at right now personally. And I'll let you know if it goes my way. I'm trying to get on these 4th of July appliance sales right now. I feel like now's the time to strike. So if anybody has that middle section, it's like your fridge has abs, and it's just like this middle section that you pull out, and it's like, all right, let's give it a shot. I'm totally into it. So anyway, all right. Look, we talked about Nick Cage enough. Well, not enough,
Yeah.
but we love him. And I know Matt had like some really, really big announcement. That's what you said, right? That you wanted to let everybody know about. So
I don't know if I would say it's a really big announcement, but I do have some exciting personal news to share.
Oh, let's go.
We adopted another dog.
Hey.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah. We got a 1-year-old cattle mix that's just in the other room there. That's been staying with us since Friday. And it's been getting along great with our dog Tiki. So they are having a fucking blast, which is, I know, a big part of having dogs that live together. I know, Dawson, you're going to have your hands full, you were telling me. But yeah, anyway, we brought this dog home on Friday, and he is a real sweetheart.
Sweet.
I talked to you last night and you didn't mention this.
I know. I wanted to surprise you guys on air. I want to tell you on air.
It worked. Congratulations to the new addition.
Thank you.
What's the dog's name?
That's the next question.
I'm glad you asked, and I think you guys will get a kick out of this. Bonsai.
Nice, dude. Well played.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can go bonsai.
Exactly.
You really play with it. Yeah.
That's a perfect
Make sure
name.
that you send tons of pictures into the group chat that we won't pay attention to.
Oh well, I'm
We'll
gonna
skip
go.
over.
Can I bring him in? Can you guys
Yeah,
take a look?
absolutely. Bring
All
the-
right, let me
bring
go grab.
Bonsai in.
He's super cute.
I can't
You
wait.
should get Bonsai to do the high five, but to wax on.
Oh, that's good.
All right, so Matt's
Bonsai wax on.
okay, Matt's taking off his headphones and he's walking away. And as he's walking away, I want us to act totally unimpressed. Just
No, let's not do this again.
No, it's just-
this was so
let's
mean
do it.
when we did it.
Let's
first.
totally do it.
And then we'll just move on. And we're just gonna move on. Okay, he's gonna be so excited. All right, Caitlin's not down.
It's gonna be hard to.
Yeah, and then Caitlin, you had a.
It is going to be
question.
hard. It's going to test every skill I have to be unimpressed by a dog. But I think I can do it.
Yeah, now Matt's gonna Caitlin's gonna make me feel so. Okay, so Matt has just sat
No,
down.
I'll do it.
Matt has just sat down with Bonsai on his lap, his new dog.
There he is.
All right, Caitlin. So you said you had a question you wanted to ask?
I do. I
everybody?
have a question. It's a 4th of July related question.
Okay, let's hear
Yeah.
it.
So my
Is that dog sick, Matt?
No, why?
Damn it! We're moving on. We're
we
moving on.
almost had it.
Bonsai's super cute.
I
Congrats.
took
it's a
being
very-
unimpressed.
dog.
I took being unimpressed to the next level.
You really
too
did.
far.
I wanted to
You're
level up.
borderline, yeah, borderline disgusted. No,
Matt, we were just
Matt,
fucking with you.
We love your dog.
Great dog.
Congratulations, and I'm so glad that.
Thank you, thank
he
you.
and Tiki are.
So I don't know.
Getting on so
That's two Australian dogs. That's a shepherd, and then a Mad Mix.
Yeah,
That's
he's
whatever
got-
that Mad Max dog is. I forget the name of that dog. It's got a little of that, and it's got a little Australian shepherd.
That's a great size for a dog too. If I
Yeah.
ever got a dog, I'd want something about that size.
I'm actually
Yeah, he's,
surprised, dude, when I saw the size of the legs when you were holding the dog. I'm like, oh, Matt got a dog.
He is like a dog, but he is very similar size to our dog Tiki. Well, you know what I mean? Like Tiki is almost like a cat dog. Like she's very slick and kind of
Great
like
show.
moves around. Oh, that was a good show. But again, he's a 1-year-old, so he's got tons of little puppy energy. We picked him up from a shelter, and that was an intense experience that I can maybe talk about on a future pod. But anyway, Bonsai, he's the latest addition to the family.
Bonsai.
You had a question, Kaylin?
Yeah, it's a 4th of July related question, and I wanted to get input on. So Amy's dad has got a Blackstone. You know,
well, we know.
those are they're okay.
know
Well,
what
for
that
those
is.
that
Propane
it's
grill.
it's
It's a griddle.
flat
It's
top
everything.
grill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a flat top grill. And Amy's parents, they're going to be away for 4th of July. And Amy's like, all right, what are you making on the flat top grill? I've only ever used it once. I tried to cook some ribeyes on it, undercooked them, had to go back, put them back on. So I haven't had good track record so far. But I want to know what's a good 4th of July thing to make on a flat top. And I know the immediate answer is to go smash burgers.
Yep.
That's classic. But Amy's not down with the smash burgers. So I need some recommendations on some things to make on the blacktop as essentially a first timer for 4th of July.
Why is she not down with the smash burgers?
I don't know.
insane.
She's
I got you, dude. I got you. On the Blackstone and on, any flat top grill, with a controllable source, you can keep that heat at a nice lower level. And there's nothing like grilling sausage on a low level, and it's just a constant flip. You just fucking flip that shit all day. Get some Italian sausages, get some linguiças, get some
That's what
brats.
I got a
and
butcher
just
like down the street, and
slowly roll 'em.
I was thinking go to the butcher and get some legit sausages for it.
I was just
And
looking
then
at
get
pictures of that.
good bread rolls, or get loaves of good sourdough or baguettes and cut those up. And then have an array of mustards and stuff.
Luckily, my kids do like sausages, but that sounds delicious to me. Yeah,
All right,
I
here's a
got my
thought
kids on
number.
the sausage.
Here's another thought.
Just take
I
them
think
off the heat and let them sit before you cut them.
You should also consider, now that I've seen what it looks like,
Because you're going to cut them for the kids. Sorry, go on.
Yeah.
this is a giant hibachi grill.
Yes.
Let's get some fucking steak, some shrimp, some lobster. Let's go full Benihana style.
Amy is allergic to seafood. So
All right. So tell her to find another place to go for 4th of July.
Yeah, dude. And you're making
Because it's fish time, baby. Come
making,
I
on.
would
making
love it.
fish
I
and
would
smash
love it.
burgers. All right, tell her. Yeah. Because
If you are going to do burgers, will you consider putting in Ritz crackers, or what was that, Chris? You went to a
Cheez-Its,
place,
right?
It was
I thought
incredible.
Cheez-Its. I thought
oh,
Cheez-Its.
you
But
thought
Chris,
Cheez-Its.
we played this on an episode that you weren't here, Chris. We played it. This is how you remind me. You had some burger that had something in the patty.
Ritz crackers.
It was Ritz crackers.
Fresh,
Kalen, will you do that? Do
I-
some Ritz crackers
Yeah, I would
burgers.
not. I would not be opposed to it. I might even do a cheese at one too. Actually,
Will you?
Because then that came up, and then we could test that
Report
one,
back.
Too. Yeah.
I'm into it. Do that because I still think about those burgers. They were incredible.
All right.
Get linguiça.
But I mean, it's 4th of July. I mean, I know Matt's trying to cook like some Japanese food right now, but like what a hot dog? Is that all right?
Yeah, that's
Get
good.
some
Hot
bacon.
dog's
Throw
great.
some bacon on there.
Yeah, there's the classic ones out there, but I don't know. I thought that there might be something I'm not thinking of. There might be something out there that like,
Remember-
you wouldn't normally
Remember
think to go
those?
to on the 4th of July blacktop grill.
Remember those bacon wrapped stuffed jalapenos
Oh,
that
yeah.
Yosemite John made?
Now we're
I wasn't
talking.
there for that, but I love that idea. Great call.
I have
make
tried to-
put some of those together.
I've tried to do the bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers in the oven, and I got pretty good at that. Except I always put in too much cream cheese, and it just fucking jumps
See,
out the side. The bacon's always falling off. I can't keep it wrapped around, but it might be
Toothpick.
easier to control on a blacktop.
It will be, and all you really got to do is cook the bacon, and then it's done.
Right? Yeah.
You know. But
Jalapeno poppers.
you can never go wrong. My two go-tos for a barbecue all the time: chicken and linguiça. Chicken's better on a grated grill or one of those man grates, you know, because you need that air going through and the escape of the fats. But linguiça and chicken. So just get a couple of packs of Silva linguiça,
All right.
and you'll be happy, and some French rolls.
All right.
Yeah. Or just do bacon. Just do a bunch of bacon.
Just to bacon.
Yeah. And then, yeah, get that. Go into your fridge. Get that special pickle drawer that you have. You have one of those, right? You should if you don't.
And
I did.
another flipping meat that needs a constant temperature, though it's better over a flame, but still doable on a flat top grill, is a good marinated tri-tip. And do your own dry rub and let it sit for 24. And then a tri-tip is another one of those. You gotta just flip it. You gotta fucking flip it for days.
Speaking of the dry rub, Kalen and Matt and Doss
Okay.
for this matter, I've noticed myself.
Wings? We talking wings?
Look, we'll get there, Kalen.
I know.
We'll get there, my man.
I know where this is going.
We'll get there.
You call me out on a dry rub. It's got to be about wings.
It's a weird sentence. All right. So, look, I find myself and my taste changing as I get older. I'm noticing birds more, and I appreciate them more when they fly by and fly into my life. I'm really into golf. All I want to do is go fishing. And now, so it's just like, okay, maybe a lot of my tastes are
What
changing
kind of
with age.
fishing? To be clear.
Don't worry about it. It's just
Chris, I'll go fishing with you anytime.
Okay.
There
Okay,
you
we got to
go.
clarify.
Yeah.
Let's clarify.
Love it. Thank you. I would love that, Doss. That sounds like a really good time.
Might be
Oh,
messy.
fishing. Yeah. Busted makes me feel good.
Either way, I appreciate the camaraderie, Doss, and the companionship.
All right.
I'll take it. But
I like going fishing.
the speaking of wings, I'm finding myself enjoying the dry rub more than the sauce these days. Is that okay, Kalen?
Yeah, I don't mind. I like a nice dry rub. I rarely get it because it's so hard for me to deviate from the traditional buffalo. Anytime I can't do it. I just want the buffalo sauce. But yeah, I can see if you're in like wings are messy. It's tough to get, they're messy. They stay on your fingers. They get all over the place. So I can appreciate like a dry rub.
Now,
sure.
okay. And a dry rub that I particularly enjoy is the lemon pepper.
It's classic.
Classic? Okay, good. A little tangy. got a little pepper.
Yeah.
Pretty
And sometimes-
basic, bro.
It's
It
pretty
is. It is basic.
It's
Yeah.
basic. Look, I told you, my tastes are changing. But if I can get a half and half, I will get buffalo on the other half. And sometimes my lemon pepper wing falls into the buffalo sauce on the other side.
Oh, whoops! It accidentally
it
fell
tastes-
into
by
the
accident, by
buffalo
happen.
sauce.
Accidentally
Oh, no.
tastes awesome.
And I take a bite of that, and I just wonder to myself, why are they just not doing this with all their wings?
Right.
Why are they just not dry rubbing lemon pepper on the wings and then coating it in the buffalo? Why is that not something I can ask for?
I'll tell
Can
you
you
why.
not ask for
I'll
that?
tell you why. No, you can't. Well, maybe you can. They can special order it, but there's no way they're going to do it for the general public because they want you to order both. If you find out you can have 6 wings with both of those sauces and they're awesome, but
Okay, Dawson, you're right. Look, it's
but
strictly
before
a
you
business
thought,
decision.
well, we got to get 6 of these and we got to get 6 of these because I got to eat these. They're going to sell more wings. And when you're in the wing game, man, it's volume.
I get that.
You
I
need
get
to
that.
sell some wings.
Well, here's the thing. Here's my argument. Because if the math ain't mathin', and you want
Thank you,
it's strictly
Jasmine.
a business decision. What sells more wings? Me going to this wing place once every 2 weeks to dip
I'll take
my
the
lemon
other
pepper
one.
wings in the buffalo
Yeah.
sauce, or you to make that? Then I come every freaking night.
Yeah.
and
This
buy
is
the wings
honestly
then.
such an incredible
Yeah,
idea that
that's
I'm
a
very
great-
jealous of that I haven't had already. Why? Yeah, why not mix
Why
the
are we
dry
not-
rubs and the
Oh,
sauces
'cause then it's
together?
tangy,
I'm
vinegary,
going
it's
to any wing
spicy.
place I can find, and you never see that. You never see the mix of them together.
Yeah.
Dude, this is
This
why
is
you guys
why are
need
people doing
Costco
this?
memberships.
That's
Kaylin, do you have a Costco membership?
I do not.
Isn't that how
You
the
can get like a 50-pound bag of Kirkland wings, and these are good. These are like fist size, good wings. And when you cook those before you air fry them, you got to do a dry rub. You got to season them like that, and then you can sauce them after. So it's always
That is actually
season, cook,
kinda-
and then sauce after.
I was kind of doing that back when I was making my wings, probably about a year ago or so. I was getting like a special wing rub, and I would coat it in that and then air fry them and then put the buffalo sauce on it afterwards.
Look, all I'm saying is, yeah, I dropped my wing into the buffalo sauce. But I'm pretty sure isn't that how the French dip was made? The guy just like dropped his sandwich into his soup or something. Like
I believe it.
A happy accident. It's serendipity.
Yeah,
So anyway,
serendipity.
Yeah.
and I still prefer blue cheese over ranch. All right. Anyway, why don't look? I know we have comments and stuff that we were gonna get to, but we had too much Nick Cage.
There's just too much going on, man.
Let's have some
We got
comments, though.
derailed
Let's get a
very
comment.
quickly.
We'll do.
We have another show.
We'll do
Let's get a
comments on Patreon.
comment.
We'll do comments on Patreon. We gotta get out of here. So, thank you to everybody for hanging out with us. And for those who are subscribed to Patreon, we appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, I suggest you go ahead to go to patreon.com/watercooler. Check out all that we have to offer. It's a lot more content. So if you're liking this,
$5 a month for the rest of this show.
the rest,
The
rest
second
of the
half
show,
of
the whole
Basically.
archive too.
It's basically what we've done, folks. We're holding you hostage. Give us $5. It's cool.
you get access to ad
And you get a lot of shit for it.
Ad-free versions of this show, opportunities for movie club, and
More hot
200
Nick Cage talk.
258 more episodes if you want to go back in the Patreon archive. All right, it's a lot, so it's a great deal. $5 a month minimum, and you're getting all that. We got you. So why don't we go around the horn, get our plugs in, and then we'll get out of here. I'll start over there in Long Beach, California. Mr. Kalen Bean, what do you suggest everybody check out other than lemon pepper hot wings?
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna be trying that on my next wing trip. But other than that, no, my podcast with my dad, Just Fooling About. We're gonna try going to twice a week now. So we're gonna see how that works out, and yeah, excited for it. Starting
Cool.
this week. He does a
Good.
whole like the real history of Tombstone, like how that all went down. Apparently, Wyatt Earp was a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, there's
He's a total piece of shit. Like, not.
Have
a
you
good
watched
guy
that
at all.
Netflix? Have you watched that Netflix documentary yet?
No, no.
Wyatt. It's called Wyatt Earp and the Cowboy War. I told you about it It came out like almost a year ago. You need to watch it, dude.
Oh,
It's like a
okay.
nice 4-part documentary.
Yeah.
And why? Yeah, he sold his story to Hollywood, and he got to tell it to the guy he sold it to.
Yeah.
Boom.
So yeah, this week is all about talking about like kind of the real history of Tombstone, how the gunfight at the OK Corral really went down, the trial afterwards, all that sort of stuff. Because my dad did like a bunch of fucking research on it, and so yeah, go check that out if you like Tombstone.
And that's where you get to hear all the wonderful stuff about the Coppola family as well, right?
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
Okay.
Awesome, dude.
And then Doss, what about you?
Well, first of all, I want to take away my plug for a documentary on Wyatt Earp and the Cowboy War and just say you should listen to Kalen's dad's podcast, Just Fooling About.
Thank you, Dawes.
I am taking a fucking much needed break from performing until July 17th in Clayton, California. I'm taking time to work on all the other fucking shit I've been neglecting that's hot and popping and needs a tender touch right now. So you're not going to see me or hear from me for a couple weeks except on this show and the occasional drunk tweet. Follow me at Los Angeles. Love you. Bye.
Love it. All right. Look for him July 17th for his big comeback. Matt, what about you?
I'll just say if you're in the time of wanting an animal companion, you should definitely consider going to your local shelter or contacting some local rescues because there are a lot of animals out there that need a loving home, and I think it's important to do that. So there you go.
Love it, dude. And once again, congratulations on Bonsai, and
Thank you.
congratulations to Bonsai for being welcome to a
Yeah, that dog is stoked, bro. That dog has
hit the
major
jackpot.
stoked. Yeah.
Oh,
I want
yeah.
you to spoil the heck out of him.
Oh yeah.
And then as for me, I'm playing at Marina Wine July 3rd, so I guess tomorrow, as you hear this, Big Bang on the Bay. It's a big fireworks extravaganza. We're playing before and after the big fireworks show, so
Dude.
that means we're headlining, whatever.
Dude, that tip jar is going to be full, man. You need to get a tip bucket for that night.
Remember, this is the same show where I snuck into that one fireworks vantage point, and it turned out to be like some company party, and they're like, "Who are you?" And I'm like,
Matt and Joel.
I'm looking for Mike. Mike who? Oh, no, I forgot what it said. It's like, what's your name? Like, Chris. What's your last name? Jameson. So I was holding a drink. It was just the worst. I just remember. I should have went to Matt and Joel. Anyway,
Now that's a $700-800 night, Chris. Make it happen, Captain.
Alrighty. Anywho, all right. Well, that will do it for this episode of Watercooler. Thanks again to everybody for hanging out, and we'll see you later this week for Patreon. We love you. Goodbye.